Hey everyone, Zuko here. I think it's about time I talk about Avatar, and don't worry, I got way more Avatar videos in the works coming very soon. I think especially considering how Air is literally in my name, some people might have assumed my channel is about Avatar, and while that was never really the point, I'll take it if it means I can make a funny Discord rule pun. Anyway, Zuko Alone. This is, in my opinion, the absolute best episode of the entire series. So why is the simplest episode of the series, with very little dialogue, only one main character, and a plot told primarily in flashbacks, my favorite episode? Well, in my opinion, the best episodes of this show shine through at its most humble and simple times. And this episode is no exception. It does pretty much everything an Avatar episode needs to do, but also somehow stays simplistic and not overwhelming in the slightest. With no further ado, let's get into my review of the perfect episode of Avatar The Last Airbender, in my opinion, Zuko Alone. The episode starts off with a quick recap of the previous Zuko episodes. I really like that Avatar did this. We see Zuko's struggles through fighting his father, parting ways with Iroh, and talking to Aang in the cave a few episodes prior. The actual episode starts off with Zuko riding his ostrich horse across multiple landscapes. It is established early on that he has no food and no money. This title clip is also very beautiful, where Zuko considers stealing food from this couple, but when he sees the woman is pregnant, he walks away. It's a really beautiful touch that shows us that he still has a heart, although it struggles. Fun fact, this couple returns again in a few episodes. And can we talk about this episode's animation? Because it is absolutely beautiful. The camera angles and cinematography are spot on, and it looks like something out of Django Unchained. While dozing off, the episode foreshadows the flashbacks that are coming in the episode, by showing us a quick glimpse of Zuko's mom leaving him. He stops at a small village and has no money to even buy himself a hot meal. It's really interesting to see a character who's always had money to spend, after all being the Prince of the Fire Nation. Oh no, I said it!
Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Okay, never saying those words again. Anyway, before I have another Vietnam, or should I say Zuko flashback, some kids throw an egg at some corrupt Earth Kingdom soldiers and run off, making it look to them like Zuko threw it. They end up stealing his only feed he managed to get and go off. The store owner says this:
"Those soldiers are supposed to protect us from the Fire Nation, but they're just a bunch of thugs."
This is such a beautiful line because it shows that Zuko and the F Nation are hated everywhere, even equally to these thugs. Zuko saying nothing and leaving only proves this subtle point. The kid who actually threw the egg comes back and takes Zuko to his home as a gift for not ratting him out. And can I just say that of all the mixed animal races in this show, the pig rooster is the greatest of all time? Seriously, if I ever make merch, this guy is being put on there to show him in all of his might and glory. Zuko goes to help the kid's dad on the roof, and we get a flashback to his childhood. Now, I really love this, and it's only something you realize on second viewing. It is later revealed that most of the people in the First Nation prefer Azula to Zuko. Here, before that's revealed, we see Zuko trying to be like Azula to impress his mom, one of the few people who actually like Zuko more, by hurting the turtle ducks in their pond. But he regrets it immediately when the turtle duck comes out and bites him for it. This metaphorically shows us from early on that Zuko isn't Azula, and trying to be like her will only be a regretful choice for him. After a scene of Azula embarrassing Zuko and May, Iroh sends Zuko and Azula gifts. He sends Zuko a knife with a beautiful inscription, and sends Azula a doll. This establishes Azula's hate for Iroh, and why she would rather have her father be the Fire Lord. But man, Azula was so cruel from the start. How can a person be so evil? Anyway, we cut back to the present day as the kids take Zuko's swords while he's sleeping in their barn in the night, which wakes up Zuko, which ends up with him teaching the kid how to use the weapon. A minor pet peeve will be how he probably didn't see the Fire Nation logo, which would have probably been on them, but whatever, that's not really important. The next day, as Zuko is about to leave with some of the family's food, the soldiers from before come back and insultingly tell the family their son was captured by the Fire Nation. Oh, come on!
Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
This is followed by another flashback. I have to say, the pacing of this episode is amazing, and the way they switch from flashbacks to the real world is really entertaining and smart. You feel like you're in Zuko's head, which, for a solo episode, is probably their intention. The flashback shows us the moment when Iroh's son had passed away, and the news came to Zuko and his sister. This obviously parallels to how the family's son has been captured. This scene, coupled by a very simple yet beautiful score, and the fact that Zuko gave Lee his most treasured possession of the dagger with the inscription on it, is a beautiful scene that really helped move this episode to the top of the list for me. As Zuko rides off from Lee, we see another flashback. This time it serves to show how mean-spirited Azula was, talking very badly about Iroh leaving the war after his son died. Zuko and Azula go into a meeting with their grandfather where Azula shows her firebending moves to make Zuko look bad. Just like before, Zuko tries to be like Azula, but ends up regretting it and failing. After they leave the meeting and Azula stays to eavesdrop, she tells Zuko that their dad will kill him because their grandfather wants him to know Iroh's pain of losing his first son. Zuko kept repeating the mantra of Azula always lies, and still does it when we cut back to present day. Lee's mom comes back and tells Zuko that Lee has been captured by the soldiers for standing up to them, which makes Zuko go to rescue him. We get a cool fight scene between the Earth soldiers and Zuko, where he succeeds at first but eventually loses, until he gets a flashback to when his mother left and told him to
never forget who you are.
Where he goes full-on Fire Saiyan and destroys the Earth leader. The fight itself is cool with nice visuals and offers some entertaining action, but the real meat of the scene is right after it, where despite Zuko saved Lee's life in this village, he is still prejudiced over being F Nation, and even Lee says,
"No, I hate you,"
and walks away from him. I think this ending is especially powerful and probably the best scene in all of Avatar, because rather than being a cheap and super easy happy ending where he is accepted for who he is, the reality of Zuko's situation comes through, because he is after all an F Nation. So meaningful for a kid's cartoon. We get another flashback when Zuko wakes up the morning his mother is banished for saving Zuko's life against the Fire Lord. This whole scene is really heartbreaking and storyboarded so well. This episode also marks the coronation of the new Fire Lord Ozai, without showing his face for the whole episode. In fact, Ozai's face is hidden and is only first shown on the season 3 premiere. Anyway, after this scene, you can see Azula's happiness in this fact, and the fear in Zuko's eyes. We cut back to the present day, where everyone looks with resentment towards Zuko as he leaves the village and the episode fades out. Honestly, a fantastic episode in the series, and definitely my #1 favorite of all time. It does such a fantastic job letting us connect to a character of Zuko without Aang, Katara, and Sokka to take the spotlight or even cameo at all. Fun fact, this is the only episode in the series to not feature Aang at all. The episode's animation, storyboard, and cinematography is stellar. The music is really great to add layers to the story, which is also incredible. And this episode did a lot in terms of Zuko's character development, which is saying a lot for such a complex character. Huge shout out to Aaron Ehasz and his wife Elizabeth Ehasz for writing this masterpiece, and Lauren MacMullan for directing it, just to name a few. Anyway, what did you think of Zuko Alone? Did you like it as much as me, or are there other episodes you prefer? Tell me all your thoughts in the comments below, like the video and subscribe with the bell for more animation reviews, follow me on Twitter for lots of updates and stupid stuff I say all the time, join the Discord server to chat with me and 175 other members and growing, and if you do, please join me in our Avatar channel to discuss all things Avatar. The channel is called The Fire Nation. Oh damn it!